I was in an emotionally abusive relationship and I'm tired of keeping it a secret. As the title suggests, I was in an emotionally abusive relationship from when I was a teenager up until my early 20s. I have not spoken to the cretin who did this to me in over 4 years now, but every now and then I still think about things. I have been reluctant to post this or even call this abuse because I never felt like my life was in danger. But the psychological harm this person did to me is too intense to keep in. I keep downplaying it to myself and others, saying, oh, it wasn't that bad, it was just a shitty relationship, it was your fault things unfolded the way they did. But I can't do that anymore. I don't remember much of the details of what happened, and I find myself questioning if things really happened the way I remember. All I know for sure is the horrible feelings I felt when they happened. I blamed myself for wanting a relationship when he was happy to string me along and use as an ego booster, like he does with all women he meets. Villainized myself for just wanting to be loved and cared for, like I mattered. Cried over why he kept ghosting, stonewalling me only to then confront him and being told it was somehow my fault. I had nothing but good intentions. I was probably too naive for my own good, but still, that never gave him the right to treat me as horribly as he did. We first met when we were 15 at a youth group. We hit it off straight away, there was an immediate spark. I have always been an idealist and a romantic, and as a kid I was told I was very sensitive, mostly in a derogatory way. I had, and still have, a lot of big feelings. So as a result, I believed this to be one of those magical moments you only see in a movie. How wrong was I even writing this out? I get angry at myself. Because I was told I was too sensitive as a child by several people, I have a hard time trusting my own feelings, even when something is genuinely wrong. I dismiss myself as making a big deal over nothing. Which is why I still struggle with calling this an abusive relationship, because I tell myself it's too extreme a label to put on it. But the immense emotional pain it left me with is extreme. It's real. And I'm done downplaying the severity of it. I'm done being angry at myself. I'm angry at him now. I'm angry at him for making me feel like I was special to him only to be ghosted soon after, and continuing the cycle to the point where it made me insane. I'm angry that he felt so entitled to claim that he wasn't a feminist because he didn't think women were oppressed when he has no idea what it is like to live as a woman. I'm angry that he only hung out with women for the sole purpose of stroking his ego, making himself feel like a man. I'm angry he openly flirted and went out with other women right in front of me and then gaslit me into thinking I didn't have a right to be angry about it because we weren't technically dating. I'm angry that he made me believe I was the problem when really it was him. I'm angry that he never supported me during my darkest hour when I lost a beloved person in my life and he stood there and did nothing as I cried, as if I was inconveniencing him. I'm angry that he texted me every single day when I first moved away from our hometown for college, and then had the cheek to stonewall me / gaslight me / criticize me / threaten me if I came on too strong for him. I'm angry that he felt entitled to treat me this way. I know you were probably thinking, why didn't you just leave sooner? Because I blamed myself for the way he was treating me. I believed that was all I was worth. I made excuses for him. I blamed his mental health, told myself he couldn't help it. But he could help it. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was a calculating, manipulative wretch who delighted in making me grovel for even a peep of his affection. I'm glad I ended things with him. After that incident where he blanked me when I was crying over losing a loved one, I deleted him off all my social media and never spoke to him again. Seems quite cold, but I reckoned if he is not willing to even give me the time of day, why should I bother wasting any more breath on him? I've mulled over whether or not this truly was abuse or just a fucked up relationship, but ever since then I have had this dark cloud within me, this sense of danger / threat / fear. Whenever I hear a story in the news about violence against women or domestic violence, that sense of danger / threat / fear comes back up, even though I was never physically harmed by him. When I hear about a woman being killed by a man, that familiar feeling of being small, insignificant and worthless I felt around him comes back up. I think it is because he was so unashamed in his anti-feminism. He always had an issue when the subject of women's rights or feminism comes up. It was a physical discomfort, sometimes anger, that you could see in him, like he felt personally attacked. It was like he didn't view women as being their own autonomous human beings, but just as supporting characters in his own life. I also witnessed him get angry, not directly at me, and punching walls / stirring the shit with people. Towards me he wasn't physically violent, but he was emotionally violent. I think that's why I become so incredibly triggered when I hear about women being killed or attacked by men. Because although my situation isn't the same as theirs, I still feel the harm of male entitlement. Because that is what it's about, entitlement. It's the common theme running through all these stories. Entitlement to use women as a plaything. An entitlement to gaslight and assert power and control over women. Entitlement to attack women. Entitlement to kill women. I'm not saying my experience of emotional abuse is the same as a woman killed by their partner/ex-partner. But I'm also not saying that my experience doesn't bring with it pain and emotional scars, which I am still trying to heal. I'm tired of being quiet to protect the cretins and any other man's feelings. I'm going to say it again and again. I was emotionally abused. I deserved better.